I think that that's also what sets us apart is that, being a female-owned, Latina-owned brand, it's special. When creating the name, believe it or not, the name came after the brand color, after the brand pillars and story. The tres being mind, body, and soul was just such a spiritual representation of how I identify with makeup, not just being an expression of what's on the outside, but also from what's within. I feel like makeup doesn't have a color, it doesn't have a gender, it's for everyone. And so, mind, body, and soul expression is very important to me. So that's where the tres comes from. And then the luce comes from the word luz or lucir. And that is light or to shine. And I feel like makeup for me has always been kind of this like intimate process of transformation to like be the brighter version of myself. And so that's kind of how the name came about. It's a made up word that sounds Spanish. So it's inspired by the Spanish language. My very first makeup memories are just me getting into my mom's makeup and having a ball with it. And I had a young, cool mom who wasn't like, "No, you're too young for makeup." She was all about it. She was all about learning to express ourselves in whatever ways, whether it's through how we dressed up our uniform for school or me expressing myself through makeup. So it was never a don't, it was always encouraged at home. And professionally speaking, it actually started in New York City. In New York is where I had my very first big girl meeting with CoverGirl. And I walked out of that office and I looked to my team. I had just turned 15 and I told them, I was like, I'm going to be a CoverGirl. I think we got it. And yeah, soon after I was an easy breezy, beautiful CoverGirl.
Me dicen Becky G, la nueva CoverGirl. Ahora mírame a mí.
It's not every day you can say, oh, I'm a cover girl alongside Queen Latifah, Ellen DeGeneres, Sofia Vergara. It's like all of these iconic names and powerful women who've accomplished so much. As a young Latina who started wearing makeup at a very young age, it felt like there wasn't enough out there for me. And I feel like it was also a little bit ahead of its time because now I see so many young girls and boys wearing makeup and expressing themselves. And so, very, very proud to have been the youngest cover girl and how that beauty story kind of evolved, turned into me eventually doing collaborations with other brands like ColourPop and going to the factory and seeing how, formulations are made and picking, packaging concepts and things like that, and building a color story on the palette, which colors go next to each other and naming the colors. And it was so much fun, but it all led up to Treslúce because I knew I always wanted to have my own line one day. Like I always said, if I wasn't a musical artist, I would for sure be a makeup artist. I still do. I do my mom's makeup. I do my sister's makeup all the time. My aunts, if you're in front of me and you're like, "Can you help me with?" I'm like, "Let me just do your whole face." As a young businesswoman, too, a young Latina businesswoman, I realized I don't just want to be the pretty Latina face of something. I also think it's important that we have ownership in these things. I want something that's ours, actually, something that we own, something that's made by us and for us. And so, that's I think my proudest point of Treslúce because Lord knows it's a very oversaturated market. There's so much to offer. I'm a makeup consumer. I can't have enough of it. I feel like there's room for everyone. I wanted to infuse little things that meant so much to me. And the Blue Agave is actually from Jalisco, Mexico, where my grandparents are from. And there's also, as far as like actual formulation and application, it does have a lot of benefits. It allows for like a much more smooth, buttery application, even though it is a powder.
Treslúce Beauty is my love letter to my heritage and to my community, my fans, the ones who have given me so much. And I'm so excited to give this to them so we can share it all together.
I would say the top two are Rihanna and Jennifer, J.Lo. Just because, you have a girl from the Bronx, you have a young girl from Barbados who have this street culture and elements to them, like myself, who grew up in Inglewood and are very proud of where we come from. But then you throw in these other editorial high fashion, layers, and you start to see this like very unique, iconic, versatile, where one day you have them walking out in Tim's and some, and overalls with the fitted cap, and then the next you see them at the Met, in this one kind gown. And so that was always very inspiring to me. They weren't so confined to a specific style. Some babies. No, I'm a baby myself, but I'm the oldest of 4 kids. I'm Mexicana, so like there's babies around all the time. I'm like the cool tia. But honestly, I think it's so funny. Me and my mom talk about it all the time. How you know, I use those women as reference, especially Jennifer. She's not just a great performer. She's an actress. She's an executive producer on a lot of the film and TV stuff that she does, as well as a fashionista, as well as now a beauty brand owner. And on top of that, she's a mom. So it's like the possibilities are endless. So when people ask me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's always like, I guess it's exciting for me too, because I really don't know. I really don't know. And I just kind of try to have, of course, goals in mind, but I'm also only 24. So it's like live in the moment and enjoy